This is a special presentation of Manny Pacquiao's Blow by Blow. Any other use of materials, photos, and accounts without MP Promotions' consent is strictly prohibited. Previously on Manny
.38 mark, the new PBF Light Flyweight Champion, Cignal Trinidad, still undefeated.
Ako po si Cignal Trinidad, galing sa Ilordi Fight Team. Manood po kayo lagi ng Blow by Blow.
Hindi ko inisip ang knockout. Laro lang. Laban lang talaga. Expected ko na yung kung ano mangyayari. Siguro kasi nag-iinsaya ako ng todo eh. Susunod lang namin yung mga kung anong tuturo sa amin, mga trainer namin.
Kailangan talaga yung may disiplina kasi hirap talaga pag wala. Kasi sa taas ng ring, ikaw lang yung lalaban eh. Kailangan mo umaga, jogging ka na agad, ensayo at pagwas ng training.
Tuloy-tuloy ang bakbakan natin dito from Blow by Blow, presented by Senator Manny Pacquiao in partnership with San Miguel Beer. At nandito po tayo sa Narvacan Covered Court, Narvacan, Ilocos Sur. Naku, mga kasama natin, mga kaboxing natin. So nice to see all of you gathered to enjoy action-packed fights on Blow by Blow, coming all the way from Narvacan, Ilocos Sur. And up next, something you are all going to be excited about. It's a 10-rounder at stake, the Philippine Boxing Federation Lightweight Championship. And it's going to be a fight between Toyogon and Rimar Metuda. And as we mentioned, it's going to be all the way from Narvacan, Ilocos Sur. We're excited to bring you this championship action. Don't forget to follow us on our social media platforms on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. Blow by Blow MP, our rules. No 3 knockdown rule in effect. Only the referee can stop the fight, and a fighter cannot be saved by the bell in any round. And that establishes kung ano po mga patakaran natin in this fight between Toyogon kontra Metuda. for the PBF Lightweight Championship. Pareho po silang very internationally exposed fighters. Marami na po silang laban abroad. And we'll talk to you more about that as the fight progresses. They're both 5'6". Kaliwete po si Metuda, orthodox fighter po si Toyogon, 25 years old si Toyogon, and Metuda is 29 years old. This is going to be a good one. Misamis Oriental versus Cagayan de Oro. Let's turn you over to Bobby Mondejar, our ring announcer.
Ladies and gentlemen, Manny Pacquiao presents Blow by Blow here at Narvacan Gymnasium, Narvacan, Ilocos Sur, in partnership with San Miguel Beer, in coordination with the provincial government of Ilocos Sur, Governor Jerry Singson and Vice Governor Ryan Luis Singson, in cooperation with LMP President Emeritus Honorable Luis Chavit Singson and all barangay captains, with Mayor Attorney Pablito Sanidad Sr. and Vice Mayor Carlos Valera, Municipal Administrator Attorney Pablo Sanidad, and Sangguniang Bayan members and LGU Narvacan. Ladies and gentlemen, all professional boxing bouts are sanctioned by the Games and Amusements Board. Chairman Attorney Richard Clarin, Commissioner Sherwin Bugarin, the Chief of Boxing and Other Contact Sports, Miss Jacquelu Cacho Ornido. Ringside physicians, Dr. Rolando Rivera, Dr. Angelo Gurion, and timekeeper Romulo Santiago Kim Dangan. Ladies and gentlemen, introducing the fighter coming into the ring, Rimar Metuda. Ladies and gentlemen, introducing the fighter coming into the ring, Al Toyogon. Ladies and gentlemen, this fight is for the Philippine Boxing Federation Lightweight Championship. Introducing, fighting out of the blue corner, he weighed in at 139.9 pounds. He has a record of 16 wins, 7 losses, 1 draw, 10 wins coming by way of knockout. Fighting out of MP Boxing Gym, Davao City. Ladies and gentlemen, Rimar Metuda. Metuda. Right across the ring, fighting out of the red corner. He weighed in at 134.7 pounds. He has a record of 13 wins, 8 losses, 2 draws, 9 wins coming by way of knockout. Fighting out of Elorde Boxing Gym, Vigan, Ilocos Sur. Ladies and gentlemen, Al Toyogon. Toyogon. Judges at ringside, Eduardo Nobleza, Sammy Bernabe, and Silvestre Abainza. Third man in the ring, referee Gerald Tomeldan. This will be 10 rounds of professional boxing.
Okay, boxers, 10 rounds, PBF Championship. Obey my command. No punch back of the head, no low blow, and no holding. Regular.
Okay, mag-uumpisa na po tayo. PBF Lightweight Championship up for grabs. And it's a fight between The Rock against the Terminator. Ang tawag po kay Toyogon is The Rock. Ang tawag po kay Metuda, The Terminator. Nako. At sabi natin kanina, both of these are global performers. They have fought overseas many times. In fact, si Toyogon, his last 3 fights were fought in Thailand, in Malaysia, and in Dubai. Metuda naman, he has won 4 of his last 5 fights, 3 of them by knockout, and he has fought 3 times in Russia. He has fought twice in China. He has fought once in Japan and 2 times in Thailand. So, mga globetrotters po, mga world travelers po, itong dalawang boksingero natin. And that experience is gonna show in this fight. Toyogon is a former World Boxing Foundation Asia Pacific Lightweight Champion, a former WBC Asia Silver Super Featherweight Champion, and he has scored 4 first-round knockouts. Yan po si Al Toyogon. So you can expect a lot from this very experienced fighter. At si Metuda naman po, we mentioned all those fights that he's had abroad, including those 3 fights in Russia. And thankfully, those fights were held before po nagkaroon ng problema with Ukraine. So, yan po si Metuda, lumaban na po yan sa Russia. Siya po ay taga Cagayan de Oro. He is the southpaw. At yes, ang tawag sa kanya, The Terminator. Naku, nakakatakot. At si Metuda, mga kaibigan, he is from the MP gym from Davao City. Ang chief handler po niya ay si Nonoy Neri, kaibigan natin. Okay, Metuda, he's got 10 knockouts in 16 wins. Toyogon, he's got 9 knockouts in 13 wins. And those numbers give you an indication that baka po hindi matapos ng 10 rounds itong laban na ito. Baka magkaroon ng knockout with the way both these fighters like to score victories. Both of them are power punchers. Toyogon wearing the red gloves, Metuda wearing the blue gloves. Toyogon very active with that left jab. Nabanggit na nga natin, si Metuda is the southpaw. He stands 5'6", slightly taller than Toyogon, who's 5'4". Big shots being thrown there by Metuda. Actually, ganun din si Toyogon. Ten-second clapper has sounded. That's the end of round number 1. Fighters slapping high fives. Not too much action in that first round. Again, nasabi natin, both these fighters are veterans. There's a shot to the body by Metuda. And then a straight left to the face of Toyogon. And that's a punch of the round. And you got to give credit to Metuda for making those punches happen. In our punches of the round, brought to you by San Miguel Beer. Al Toyogon's corner being handled by Rex Tito. Nabanggit natin that both are veterans, and that's why kabisado nila how to fight a 10-rounder. They pace themselves. They make sure that they don't punch themselves out. They want to make sure that down the stretch they have enough gas in their tank to go the distance if kung sakasakali man umabot ng distansya. Pacing, very important ingredient in fighting a 10-round fight. And as we mentioned, both these fighters are very experienced. They're fighting in the 135-pound limit, the lightweight division. Metuda, hindi po siya lumaban noong 2020. And again, because of the pandemic, we turned pro back in 2013. While si Toyogon naman, hindi po siya lumaban noong 2020 and 2021. So 2 years nabakante po si Toyogon because of the pandemic. But he has come on. And he turned pro back in 2015. And in 2019, super active po si Toyogon. 5 laban po ang kanyang na-report sa kanyang scorecard. 5 fights in 2019. And one of the fights that he had in 2019 was a fight against the former WBO, or rather WBA, WBC lightweight champion, si Jorge Linares. Yes, nilabanan po ni Toyogon si Linares. So, high quality fighters po ang mga nakalaban ni Al Toyogon. He lost a 10-round decision to Linares in Tokyo, Japan in 2019. Al Toyogon, very experienced. Metuda, ganon din. These guys have seen the world, plying their trade, showing the world what they can do inside that ring. Short punches being thrown by both these fighters. Toyogon, a little more disciplined with that left jab. Toyogon moving inside. Metuda moving around. And then standing his ground to throw a combination.
Box!
Toyogon trying to penetrate that tough defense ni Metuda. Softening him up with that left jab and then throwing that right straight. More left jabs coming from Al Toyogon. And then the left hand coming from Metuda. Another left hand from Metuda. Right hand to the body by Toyogon. And then 2 lefts to the face of Metuda. Toyogon a little bit busier in that round than Metuda. Trying to score with combinations. Panurin po natin punch of the round. There's the shot coming from Metuda. That went through. Boom! Pasok na pasok yun. The left hand coming from Metuda. That has been his big weapon. Ang kanyang left straight. That's been able to penetrate the defense ni Al Toyogon. Vincent Tayaganon, ang trainer ni Rimar Metuda in the absence of Nonoy Neri. Again, mga kaboksing, nandito po tayo sa Narvacan, Ilocos Sur as Manny Pacquiao presents Blow by Blow in partnership with San Miguel Beer, going around the country. And so far, since Blow by Blow was restarted in its 3rd iteration in November of last year, nakapunta na po tayo sa Mandaluyong, sa General Santos, sa Okada, sa Imus, Cavite, sa Quezon City, sa San Juan, at ngayon naman po, nandito po tayo sa Narvacan, Ilocos Sur. So, we're going around the country, we're bringing the action close to where the fans are, and yan po ang commitment ni Senator Manny Pacquiao, not only to the fans, but also to the fighters, to give them a platform for the promising, the up-and-coming fighters to display their wares and become world contenders, hoping to follow in the footsteps of no other than our 8th division boxing idol, boxing champion, Manny Pacquiao. Round number 3 po tayo. Toyogon versus Metuda. Ito, nagkakasakitan na yung dalawa. And a wild shot, a left hand, missed completely by Al Toyogon. Some shots scored by Toyogon. Kabit-kabit pa yun. And Metuda is on the defensive. Again, caution to Al Toyogon. He may be punching himself out. Metuda's such a smart fighter. Pinapasuntok lang niya si Toyogon. Pacing lang si Metuda. Pag napapansin na, napapagod na si Toyogon, doon naman siya babanat. So all about timing, all about realizing kung kailan medyo napapagod na yung kalaban so that you can begin your own attack. Toyogon, missing, continuing to miss. Magaling dumapensa ito si Metuda. Ducking those punches. And even if his back is against the ropes, he's able to fight defensively in a very smart manner. Both fighters exchanging jabs. The left hand of Metuda, that has been a big one for him. Shot to the body of Toyogon. And both fighters wrestling each other down. Referee Tomeldan. Metuda on his back foot. There's a 10-second clapper. Again, the left hand of Metuda. And that's the end of the round. The right hand of Toyogon has to be up because yung pumapasok dito yung kaliwa ni Metuda. So he's got to make sure that he has a proper defense to guard against that left hand ni Metuda. Al Toyogon from the Elorde Boxing Gym of Vigan, Ilocos Sur. Toyogon is originally from Ginog, Misamis Oriental. While si Metuda naman is from Cagayan de Oro. Watch some action here on our punch of the round. Oh, a blasting shot there coming from Toyogon. Two right hands coming from Toyogon. And that's a punch of the round brought to you by San Miguel Beer. Al Toyogon, The Rock, versus Rimar Metuda, the Terminator. Round number 4, scheduled for 10. This is for the PBF Lightweight Championship. Kapit Bayan. This is going to be a fight where fireworks are expected to explode at any time. Both fighters are knockout artists. Both fighters like to hurt their opponents, and they do it with a passion. And si Metuda from close distance. Again, yung binabato niyang kaliwa. Pagpasok ni Toyogon, aakap si Metuda. So again, Metuda, a very smart fighter. Nice jolting uppercut from Metuda, and that causes Toyogon to back away. But Toyogon feeling that he has an advantage because nakordan niya dun si Metuda, and now Metuda's back is against the ropes. Toyogon flailing away. Toyogon always making it a point to be the first to draw his guns. Shot to the body there by Toyogon. Metuda answering with an uppercut. More uppercuts from Metuda, and then shots to the side of the body, and then Toyogon kabit-kabit na suntok. One after the other. That's taking a lot out of stamina, but Toyogon is right there. Both these guys are in excellent physical condition. They want to win that PBF Lightweight Championship. Yung mga dukot to the side of the body, those are hard, painful shots. Yung combination ni Metuda, always you'll see an uppercut. And there he goes again. Now it's toe-to-toe fighting. Walang atrasan ito. And neither fighter showing foot movement. Both fighters are fighting flat-footed. And they're getting a taste of their own medicine because they're plugging away. They're throwing hard shots from close distance. Nobody's throwing any jabs. There's no room for any jabs because they're fighting toe-to-toe. That's the end of round number 4. No visible stains on the faces of either fighter. Punch of the round natin. Yun, shot to the body there by Toyogon, and then an opportunity to strike with the left hand to the side of the face of Metuda after Toyogon connecting with that right hand to the side of the body. Metuda versus Toyogon. Round number 5 coming up. We are scheduled for 10. Here it is. Toyogon again, first to the draw, first to the punch. Lumapit kagad si Metuda. And look at that. Look at that. Magulang talaga ito si Metuda. Right after kumapit siya, even before the referee could come in to signal a break, Metuda was already punching. So Metuda trying to catch Toyogon off balance, off rhythm. But more of the same. It's been toe-to-toe fighting. Uppercuts exchanged by both fighters. That's a big weapon to use when you're going toe-to-toe. Now Toyogon moving back, using that jab. Probably realizing walang mangyayari if they're just going toe-to-toe. He needs to set up his shots, and that's with good jabs. That's what Toyogon is doing right now. And if you notice, ever since Toyogon moved away from toe-to-toe fighting, he's been able to unload a lot more, and Metuda is not as active as previously. So maganda yung adjustment na ginawa ni Toyogon. He backed away from toe-to-toe fighting, went to his jab, and all of a sudden he found himself firing a lot more shots than Metuda from a distance. Now it's back to toe-to-toe fighting. But ako, ang feeling ko, Toyogon needs to take that step back. Once he takes that step back, then he'll get his distance to throw his shots. While Metuda likes to come close. Toyogon cannot afford to fight Metuda's fight. Huwag siyang papasok. Kasi yun ang laban ni Metuda in fighting toe-to-toe. Toyogon has to be smarter. Metuda is baiting Toyogon to fight his fight. Ito, they're going head-to-head once more. That's Metuda's fight. And that's where Metuda can unload. Because he likes to throw those short punches. End of round number 5. Yan po, nakikita natin si Al Toyogon. Punch of the round natin. Brought to you by San Miguel Beer. There's that shot to the side of the body by Metuda. And that's where he's most dangerous. If you're fighting head-to-head, toe-to-toe, Metuda is a very dangerous opponent. And Toyogon's got to be smarter. Kanina nakita natin taking a step back, separating himself from close range fighting. Rimar Metuda, you see him on your screens. Originally from Cagayan de Oro, he is the southpaw, 29 years old. Toyogon is 25 years old. It's been a battle. Toyogon now fighting from distance, throwing that left jab. Uppercut thrown by Metuda. One-two combination coming from Toyogon. Metuda bobbing, catching Toyogon as he was coming in. Now Metuda is baiting Toyogon to come in, and he's waiting to unload that left hand. Oh, series of punches there thrown by Toyogon without reply from Metuda. Well, very clearly, hand speed is the advantage of Toyogon over Metuda. Toyogon is certainly a lot busier here than Metuda. There's a bit of a loose tape. Okay, referee Tomeldan catching that loose tape and getting that fixed up in the corner. Actually, time has stopped, and referee Tomeldan is going to call time in. Okay, time in, you heard it. Toyogon versus Metuda. Nice left hand shot there coming from Metuda. And if you're Toyogon, you don't want to fight that way. Okay, keep Metuda at a distance and then let your hands go. Without coming close to Metuda. Now Metuda has Toyogon's back against the ropes momentarily. Metuda has the pressure. He can't just stand around and wait for Toyogon to come in. If he's thinking of baiting Toyogon, I don't think that's the right strategy. Dapat pasukin niya. And he's got to put pressure. Now Toyogon throwing a lot of shots. Metuda is just taking the shots. He's not replying. That's not a good sign. Tumapon siya ng magandang kaliwa, but that's it. Metuda looks like he's fagged out. Toyogon the same way. Toyogon might be punching himself out, that's for sure. Ang dami niyang tirapo na suntok doon. And Metuda is just taking his time. Pacing nga. Sabi nga natin kanina, no, he looks to be the more intelligent fighter of the two. Toyogon is busier, but Metuda appears to be the smarter fighter at this stage. That's Metuda. Again, getting instructions from his cornerman. Our friends keeping blow by blow on the air all the way from Narvacan, Ilocos Sur. Round number 7, now on the way. The Terminator. You see that in the waistband of Metuda. Yan po ang tawag sa kanya. While si Toyogon naman ang tawag sa kanya, The Rock. A lot of wrestling going on now, and right thing to do for referee Tomeldan is to break them up. Toyogon attacking the body of Metuda. There doesn't seem to be too much sting behind those punches of Toyogon. Nakakasuntok nga siya, pero he's not hurting Metuda. And Metuda doing a lot of good head movement, avoiding those shots of Toyogon. So far, good round for Metuda. Nice shot by Metuda. Those are picture-perfect connections by Metuda. Fighter showing signs of wear and tear. And again, so far a good round here from Metuda. He's on the attack, putting now some pressure on Toyogon. Ito yung sinasabi natin kanina. That's what he needs to do. He's got to put his chest on Toyogon's chest. Press the attack. But that time, Metuda getting the better of the exchanges from distance. So a little bit of a change here in what we're seeing. But Metuda, again, he tries to take this fight straight to Toyogon, and he's doing it head-to-head. He's going toe-to-toe. That's how he wants this fight. He wants it a brawl. Ten-second clapper. Metuda just making sure na makuha niya yung round. It was a good round for him, and he's gonna get that round. That's Rimar Metuda. And we've got 3 more rounds coming up. Round number 8. Next in line, PVF Lightweight Championship at stake in this fight. Panurin po natin, punch of the round by San Miguel Beer. Metuda cracking that right uppercut, right on the button, and raising the perspiration, beads of sweat out of the head of Toyogon. Punch of the round brought to you by San Miguel Beer. Klarong-klaro yun. Beautiful uppercut scored by Metuda. Toyogon getting a massage. We don't want any fighter going down with cramps. Not when the fight is still 3 rounds away from ending. Metuda. Strong boy from Cagayan de Oro, now fighting out of Davao City. Toyogon. Originally from Misamis Oriental, now out of the Elorda Boxing Gym of Vigan, Ilocos Sur. Good previous round there for Metuda. Masusundan kaya ng another good performance from Metuda, or will Toyogon reverse the table? Fighters are connecting, but again, as we noticed, not too much sting behind the punches. Kulang sa power yung dalawa. I would say at this stage, Metuda would be the stronger of the 2 fighters. Nakakatama si Toyogon, but he's not hurting Metuda. Toyogon's punches are coming from the shoulders. Sandali. Could be a low blow. And they will give some time for Metuda to shake off the effects of the low blow. You go to a neutral corner. You cannot go to your own corner during a break like this. And referee Tomeldan giving Metuda some time to shake off the effects of that low blow. And the rule book states that you can have as many as 5 minutes to recover from a low blow, from an illegal shot. Yun. A right hand coming from Toyogon, and that went below the belt. Of course, most fighters do not actually take the maximum of 5 minutes. The most siguro is mga 1 minute. Okay, now action is back. On track. Round number 8 na po tayo. Toyogon. He's forgotten to throw that left jab because he's been goaded by Metuda to fight Metuda's fight. Close range. Here's Metuda unloading. Metuda had a big round previously. He wants to follow it up with another good showing here in round number 8. Toyogon might have won the majority of the rounds previously, but Metuda's coming on strong. Less than 30 seconds to go in this round. We're coming close to the twilight zone of this fight with a PBF lightweight championship up for grabs. Metuda scoring that time, but not following up his advantage. I think Metuda is wary that he might punch himself out. But another good round for Metuda. Toyogon on his toes as this round will come to an end. That's it. 2 more rounds to go in this battle for the PBF Lightweight Championship. Signs of a grind showing in the face of Al Toyogon. And the ring girl announcing that round number 9 is coming up, the penultimate round of this tenor. Nandito po tayo, Narbacan, Ilocos Sur, and our punch of the round brought to you by San Miguel Beer. Metuda missing that time, but scoring with the right hand. And that brought Toyogon back on his heels. Last 2 rounds were good ones for Metuda. And what will be in store for our fans here in round number 9, and if it goes to round number 10. Toyogon. Now back to his left jab, which is something that he really should do. Metuda has had his way the last 2 rounds, and Toyogon needs to be able to stem the tide. Pump the jab. I think that's important for Toyogon. And he continues to pump that jab against the southpaw, Metuda. Ito, so far, hindi pa nakakasintog si Metuda. That's his first punch of this round. A left hand. Metuda scoring that time with the left. And then he attacks with an overhand left. Toyogon checking back in. No knockdowns have been scored in this fight. We were expecting a lot of fireworks considering both these fighters are knockout artists. Al Toyogon, a globetrotter just like Metuda. And we did say that he's fought all over the world. And Metuda also has fought all over the world, including 3 fights in Russia. And less than a minute to go before the end of this round. Both fighters have considerably slowed down, and that's really because of the attrition factor. It's been a grueling fight, a very tiring, a very exhausting encounter between Toyogon and Metuda. Metuda is now dragged on his knees. That's not a knockdown, that's a slip. But time continuing to take away precious seconds from the clock. And Toyogon getting a warning for throwing a punch behind the head. Ten-second clapper. And those are powder puff punches being thrown by Toyogon. They're not hurting Metuda. They may be scoring points, but they are not causing any serious damage on Metuda. That's the end of round number 9. So the last round coming up to decide sino po magiging bagong PBF lightweight champion. Could it be Toyogon? Could it be Metuda? This last round could decide the outcome. Punch of the round po natin. Yun, tinamaan ni Metuda si Toyogon coming in. The left, or rather the right hand, swak na swak yun. And that was a punch of the round brought to you by San Miguel Beer. Metuda now getting instructions from his cornerman. This is now going to be the last ditch stand, not only of Metuda, but also of Toyogon. I see it a very tight contest. Either fighter has a chance to win and become the new PBF lightweight champion. Here we go, round 10 of 10. Both fighters looking all business at this stage. Toyogon, Metuda, they want to be active. They want to be busy. They want to end this fight with a flourish. A knockdown could seal the deal, if not a knockout. If any one fighter goes down in this round, that'll be a major advantage for whoever is able to score the knockdown. In a close fight, a 10-8 round would be precious. Referee Tomeldan breaking the fighters. Who's got more gas left in the tank? Toyogon or Metuda? A lot of holding going on. An uppercut scored there by Metuda. Again, when it's close range fighting, that's where maaasahan mo si Metuda. If it's distance fighting, you go with Al Toyogon. And repeatedly during this fight, Metuda goading, baiting Toyogon to fight him from close distance. Metuda wanted to turn this into a brawl, a toe-to-toe fight. But Toyogon also using his intelligence, fighting from a distance. Metuda, very patient, pacing himself well. Both these fighters actually are very intelligent fighters, which is the reason why we're going to end this fight within, or rather inside, or not, rather in the distance. This fight is clearly going the distance. I don't think we're going to be seeing a knockout scored. Less than 30 seconds to go before the end of this fight. Both fighters pace themselves well. Toyogon trying to end this with a flourish. Very strategic. Both fighters very experienced, and it showed in this fight. There's a 10-second clapper. Patapos na po ang laban natin, and the fans are jumping up and down, and that's the end of the fight. Tapos na po ang laban natin. 10 rounds. It went the distance for the PBF Lightweight Championship. Sino po mananalo? That's the big question mark. It's close. It's close. I thought Metuda staged a furious rally in the late rounds. Toyogon might have had the advantage in the early rounds. No major damage inflicted on either fighter. Panoorin po natin, punch of the round. Toyogon missing, and then Metuda scoring with a 1-2, and then ducking away, making Toyogon miss. Punch of the round brought to you by San Miguel Beer. Yan po si Metuda from the MP Boxing Gym of Davao City. Al Toyogon from the Alorde Boxing Gym of Vigan, Ilocos Sur. Sino kaya ang bagong PBF Lightweight Champion? Very close fight. Toyogon had his moments. Metuda also had his moments. Became very strategic, very tactical. Both these fighters, very intelligent fighters. Metuda, I thought, scored the more telling blows. Mas madidiin yung mga suntok ni Metuda kaysa kay Toyogon. But there, the judges' scorecard. The judges' scores are being tallied by the Games and Amusements Board at ringside. And momentarily, we will hear the decision from our ring announcer, Bobby Mondehar. Toyogon, Metuda. And being asked to enter the ring is Narvacan Vice Mayor Carlos Valera. And Miss Marife Barrera has also been called inside the ring of MP Promotions. And we also see now the belt, the championship belt ng PBF. Yan po si Ma'am Marife, congratulating both fighters for a very competitive showing. It was a close fight. Actually, I can't venture a guess as to who won this fight. But now we're going to hear it from our ring announcer, Bobby Mondehar.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 10 rounds of boxing, we have a winner. Here are the scores of the three judges. Judge Abainsa scored it 96-94. Judge Nobleza scored it 95-95. Judge Bernabe scored it 97-93. Winner by majority decision, and the new Philippine Boxing Federation Lightweight Champion, Al Toyogon.
Si Al Toyogon po
Toyogon.
A majority decision. One judge had it a draw, and two judges had him winning by a very slim margin. Al Toyogon, siya po ang bagong kampiyon ng Philippine Boxing Federation in the lightweight division, scoring a majority 10-round decision over Rimar Metuda. Could have gone to a draw. I thought Toyogon had the early advantage, but Metuda had the late advantage. But just the same, Al Toyogon scoring a victory by a majority decision. I thought maybe Toyogon had the edge in the last round, and that might have convinced the judges to give him the championship. So, Al Toyogon, siya po ang bagong kampiyon ng Philippine Boxing Federation in the lightweight division. Majority decision winner over Rimar Metuda. Ito po mga highlights ng laban. It was action-packed, it was competitive, very strategic, very cerebral, very mental yung laban. In the third round, makita po natin, pareho po sila nagbabanatan. Metuda inviting Toyogon to turn this into a brawl, but Toyogon adjusting his style, taking a step back, and then fighting from a distance. Metuda, however, coming on strong in the late rounds, attacking the body, and then scoring with that clean uppercut with the right hand. In round number 8, it was more of the same. Metuda now adjusting his style now to fight with a little bit of distance. And Metuda trying to trap Toyogon in a corner and scoring with the right hand. Round number 9, it was more of Metuda. And as we were saying, Metuda had that big rally in the later rounds. Could have turned the tide for his favor. And in round number 10, pareho na silang nagka-score ng big shots. But, and that was a punch to the body and an uppercut by Metuda. But Toyogon holding his ground and winning the PBF Lightweight Championship by a majority decision. Si Metuda, medyo surprised. Meron na sorpresa si Metuda. He probably thought he won the fight, but it was a close one, and the majority decision going to Al Toyogon, the new Philippine Boxing Federation Lightweight Champion. From Narvacan, Ilocos Sur, this has been Blow by Blow, presented by Senator Manny Pacquiao in partnership with San Miguel Beer.